Hello, welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. Welcome back if you've been following. I apologize for not doing this yesterday. I just got distracted with other things. I was doing some trainings, videos for a training I have, and then had a doctor's appointment, and so I just forgot. So I apologize if this is a day late, but we're doing it. Today we're gonna be doing If You Give a Dog a Donut by Laura Numeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. Okay, always some tips as you read with your fingers so they know where the words are and how you're reading, because we need to know that words go from left to right, top to bottom. Make sure they know where the cover is, the back is. Now you turn one page at a time. So how this works: if you're new, I kind of go through the book, tell you some questions you could ask while you're reading it with kids, some words to maybe define. I'm trying to make this as easy for you as possible because kids need you to read books to them. And there's so many good books. So I'm trying to let you know which ones are the best. But yeah, you might be familiar with this series. There's a bunch of them, right? If you give a moose a muffin, if you give a big pancake, if you give a mouse a cookie, right? That's the original. If you take a mouse to the movies, there's even some Christmas ones. So yeah, first let's just kind of go through this. So first question, I would probably just be like, what do you think is gonna happen if you give a dog a donut? Right? And see what they come up with. And then the next page it says like what he wanted. So what did he want with his donut? So that's recall questions. Also labeling, I forgot labeling. So on the first page I might ask like, what is he eating? That's probably how you're going to start off with. You read a book multiple times, so a lot of these questions you won't ask every time. You'll kind of pick and choose. So the first time labeling questions, so like, what is he eating? And you can point, make sure when you ask the questions you point to the answer. What is the dog eating? So that they know they can take a donut. I would focus on those type of questions first time. What is he doing? Right? Just labeling. He's drinking. So that they have to label things. Then the second time I read it, I would ask what do you think he's going to want with his donut, right? You get him predicting, or those prediction questions, or those recall questions. So either ask a question that makes him kind of guess what's going to happen in the story, or you ask questions that are going to help them remember what just read. So yeah, this page, I would ask like, what do you think is going to happen if you give a dog a donut? And this one, what did he want with his donut? Right? And then you can, the third time, related to them, kind of get them just talking, right? Like, do you like donuts? No? Okay, what do you like to eat? Just get them talking like that. Like, what's your favorite kind of juice? Those are questions you could ask. Like, so this page, there's no more juice. What do you think he's going to do? And then, what did he do? What did he do? Right? Toss is a word they may not know. You can decide. That's another word for throw. So recall question, what did throwing the apple make him think about? And you can do that. So this was talking about getting a ball and a glove for baseball. So like, oh, so that's another question. You can be like, what did the throwing the apple make him think of? Oh, what do you need for baseball, right? Do you like playing baseball? Pitch. They may not know what that word is if they're not familiar with sports. If you're avid sports people in your house, maybe by the time you read this they may know what the word pitch is, but you can just describe that it's another word for throw. But that it's specifically for this sport. Well, baseball and softball, where you pitch, where there's a pitcher. And remember, you don't have to define all of these words. If there's a lot, I mean, so far it's only been 2, so you could probably do that every time. But, yeah. Again, he'll hit a home run. They may not know what that is. If they don't watch sports, you can explain what a home run is. Then he'll do a happy dance to celebrate, right? At that page, I would be like, well, what's your happy dance? Relate it to them. I might, just to label, like, how do you think he's feeling? Getting them labeling emotions. Like, maybe the first time you could ask how he's feeling. You could ask them to show you their happy dance. You could also, a happy dance to celebrate. So you could also ask them what type of things would make them that happy, right? That they'd want to celebrate. And you might need to define celebrate, right? Like, it's what you do after you accomplish something normally, like you go out to eat or something like that. Some things to get him thinking, like dancing. The dancing will make him hot and dusty. So what do you do when you're hot? And then you can talk about that. Or what is he playing in, right? That's probably the first time. What do you do when you're hot? Bandana, they may know what that is, but there may not be some clothing that they're familiar with. Now, what is he pretending to be? That's probably the question I would ask. They should. Just in case, they may know what pretend is, but just let them know pretend means he's not an actual pirate, that he's just in his mind imagining that he is one. He wants to go on a treasure hunt. So what does he want to do, right? Those type of recall questions to get them, making sure they're actually like paying attention to what you're eating. And what did he find? A kite may not be something that they're as familiar with. So that's a good one to have them label. And then you could also ask, what does he need in order to finish the kite? Because it says you'll have to get some strings, paper, and sticks. So like, what does he need to fix the kite? So yeah, that is if you give a dog a donut. Hopefully those questions were helpful. Just to summarize, first time ask labeling questions. So you really want to ask the questions like, what is he eating? Oh, what is he drinking? Right? Just, what did he find? Right? You want to do those labeling questions just because a lot of goals have to do with like labeling objects or like verbs, right? So anything you can do to get them labeling like different objects, or you have verbs, just so it'd be like, what is he doing? Oh, he's drinking, right? So you can either have them label the juice or talk about the verb so that they kind of learn those vocabs. Second time, you either can ask like predicting questions, like what do you think he's gonna want to go with his donut? Right? Or you could ask those recall questions. What did he want with his donut? What did throwing the apple remind him of? Right? Those recall questions or prediction questions. The third time related to them, right? Like, do you like playing baseball? If not, what do you like to play? What would you like to eat with your donut? Just asking, just relating it to them. So yeah. 5 out of 5. The kids really love this series. Any of the books in this series are going to be great. And they're going to love them. So, yeah, that's it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.